Welcome back, Defenders. Jake here. It's official. Kremlin dismisses Prigozhin assassination rumors as absolute lies. You never really know if something's true until the Kremlin officially denies it. This is all the evidence I need that, yes, Putin had Prigozhin assassinated. Russia says it is confirmed Yevgeny Prigozhin died in last week's plane crash. They recovered a body. They positively ID'd the body, and they even allowed Wagner PMC commanders to visit the morgue to see the body for themselves. The main sign it was Prigozhin was the absence of a finger. They also recovered and positively ID'd Dmitry Ukhin. He's easy to recognize because he's pretty tall and he's covered in Nazi tattoos. Prigozhin plane crash spawns conspiracy theories, rumor, and threats of Wagner action. So this is how Russian disinformation works in the 21st century. They want people to believe. We'll never know what the truth is. Did Prigozhin fake his own death? Was there a bomb on the plane, or was it a surface-to-air missile? Did the Kremlin do it? Did Ukraine do it? The CIA? MI6? Another African warlord? The Kremlin is happy if people are debating this issue, fighting over it, and exhausting themselves. This is how Russian disinformation works. They want people to believe the truth will never be known. If you ask me, it was an S-300 missile that hit this plane, and yes, Putin wanted Prigozhin dead. Now, Putin did record a video and put out a statement. It's 2.5 minutes. I'll link it down below. This is what he says in the beginning. Regarding this plane crash, first and foremost, I would like to express my sincere condolences to the families of all those who died. This was a commercial jet with 2 civilian pilots and a flight attendant. 3 completely innocent people just going to work and doing their job. And Putin had these people killed to get Prigozhin. Putin's press secretary Peskov says that Putin can't attend Prigozhin's funeral due to his busy schedule. That would be a sweet irony if Putin did show up at Prigozhin's official funeral. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm a little angry. I'm a little disappointed that Prigozhin, from beyond the grave, hasn't released anything yet. We were all waiting for this video where Prigozhin would start by saying, "I'm Yevgeny Prigozhin, and if you're watching this video, it means I'm already dead. Now I'm going to tell you all what really happened." Prigozhin was an oligarch. He knew Putin's secrets. He knew how the Russian government and the Russian military actually functioned. And it's been 4 days and we still don't have any kind of video dump. Now, it is possible a hard drive does exist. Documents are coming, videos are coming in the near term. There are rumors that if Prigozhin did record stuff and plans to release it, more than likely it's going to go to this man, Vladimir Ossetykin. Vladimir is a Russian-born human rights activist who operates the website gulag.net. He had to flee Russia in 2015 and currently lives in Paris. So it is possible videos are coming. Perhaps he already has the videos and is working on translations, working on going through all the evidence. If you do have an important news story, generally you wait for Monday morning, not Friday afternoon, to release that information. It's currently Sunday, but I'm not going to hold my breath. It's possible that Prigozhin is just an idiot and he felt he was safe and nothing is coming. And as for Dmitry Ukhin, I'm also disappointed in this guy that he didn't have a contingency plan for his assassination. This guy also knew stuff. He could have recorded a video. He could have released documents. Ukhin, if Adolf Hitler was alive today, he'd be very disappointed in you. I hope that hurts. He considered himself immortal. Among his fighters, unease looms over the death of Prigozhin. For people like Prigozhin and Utkin, they were billionaires. Money was never their motivation anymore. They loved the power, they loved the attention, they loved killing people. They were very bad guys. I wish they had done more damage to Putin and his regime, but at the end of the day, they needed to go. So for those slow to learn, Putin just demonstrated his approach to negotiations. When in a position of weakness, offer a deal. When a deal is struck, rebuild your strength. When you are again strong, spectacularly and performatively renege on the deal to send a message. So everyone in Western media calling for a ceasefire, calling for an armistice, this is what Putin wants. Putin and the Kremlin wants a freeze in the conflict. They want a deal in which Ukraine stops attacking, Ukraine stops advancing. And the goal will always be to rebuild your strength, and then in 2 years, 5 years, whenever, come back for more of Ukraine's territory. If Russia is allowed to keep any Ukrainian territory, then these wars will never end, Ukraine will never be safe, Europe will never have peace. Putin signs decree forcing paramilitary fighters to swear an oath, basically to him. The oath has to be to the Russian flag, but Putin and the state of Russia are one and the same. So the goal of the Kremlin is to erase the Wagner group from the minds of ordinary Russians. Everything is being rebranded, relabeled. All of their fighters, all of their operations, all of their assets are being reabsorbed back into the regular Russian military. And if you remember from 3 or 4 months ago, Prigozhin made all this noise about building these cemeteries to dead Wagner soldiers who helped capture the city of Bakhmut. I think he did this, one, to endear himself to ordinary Russians by honoring fallen soldiers, but also maybe to motivate more people to join the Wagner group, because at least if you die taking Bakhmut, you'll be honored as a hero of Russia. Well, Putin and the Kremlin don't want to recognize these Russian men who died fighting in their special military operation. All of these Wagner cemeteries that Prigozhin built are currently being destroyed.
Вот этот обелиск открывал Евгений Викторович Пригожин в Николаевке. А вот здесь, вот, где вот эта дорожка, там были могилы, это все снесено. Вы что творите-то, ребят? Да это же кощунство, блин, это вы что, люди гибли за Россию, вы их тут с землей сравняли все могилами. Вы что творите-то, вообще что ли, блядь, ни бога ничего не боитесь, блядь? Вот здесь вот все кресты ребят, которые погибли.
So this video is bizarre for a couple reasons. One, all of these graves are being destroyed and the cemetery is being paved over. But this man in the video, kind of posing as a Wagner mercenary, is actually a social media influencer. He's got 4.2 million followers on TikTok, and he's known as Sergey the Walrus for his ice bath videos. So that's who's speaking in the video. But people were saying that the wooden crosses are being removed so that dragon teeth tombstones can be replaced. The video was filmed 2 days ago, and this is what the cemetery currently looks like, so nope, it's just completely been paved over. And I do think I said in a video 4 months ago that this Wagner cemetery would be paved over for a strip club parking lot. If you've been following my videos for a while, I did accurately predict this. There's also a Wagner cemetery as of this morning. This is in Irkutsk. Somebody went to all the graves and burned everything down. Just set fire to the entire cemetery. So there's a lot of people in Russia who have very strong feelings about the Wagner group, whether this is motivated, directed by the Kremlin or not, or just ordinary individuals upset about the rebellion. I think we've closed the book on the saga of Yevgeny Prigozhin and the Wagner PMC. But people are interested in their soldiers. The Russian Volunteer Corps, who's currently in Ukraine, put out a video saying if there's any Wagner mercenaries not guilty of war crimes, they're welcome to come to Ukraine, join their group to fight Putin's regime and Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, get revenge on those who killed their dear leader. I don't think many Wagner mercenaries are going to join the Russian Volunteer Corps, but this video being put out once again is propaganda to demoralize the regular Russian population. So with all this chaos and anarchy, let's check in on Kremlin State TV. What the heck has Solvyov been talking about?
Ни о какой репутации этих нацистских концернов речи быть не может. И, судя по всему, их дорога не только в Россию должна быть закрыта навсегда. Потому что как может крупнейший рынок Китая, например, после этого пользоваться немецким автомобильным производством, если они пошли в нарушение всех существующих норм и законов и в одностороннем порядке нарушают коммерческие обязательства, дискриминируя на основании гражданства. Это, знаете ли, уже не шутки. При том, что невозможно сделать ключ, не дает доступа к собственности, а невозможность диагностирования приводит к тому, что люди будут вынуждены пользоваться неисправными автомобилями, что приведет...
And for the second week in a row, the story that Solvyov cares the most about on his broadcast is, why won't my luxury import vehicle get software updates anymore? This guy truly is in touch with the common people of Russia, bringing them the hard-hitting stories that ordinary Russians care the most about. But he has figured it out that if he ever loses the key to his vehicle, he can't get services from the dealership anymore. They won't be able to program him a new key. So Mercedes-Benz, Audi, BMW, Volkswagen all announced they're no longer going to offer services for their vehicles inside of Russia. And Solvyov is mad as Mercedes-Benz isn't going to work soon. So Ukraine's going to have to do this the hard way. We can't rely on an internal rebellion to bring down Putin's regime. Ukraine launches massive drone attack on Crimea. Russia claims they downed 42 drones. What appears to be Kyiv's largest aerial attack to date also targeted the region where Russia operates many of the bombers used to attack Ukrainian cities. So we don't, at this time, have any good pictures or videos showing the damage, but the reports coming out of Crimea is that Ukraine did successfully destroy some planes at a Russian airfield. In addition, Ukraine Special Forces conducted a successful raid operation in Crimea. Ukraine's Defense Intelligence said it carried out a raid on Crimea a day after it destroyed that Russian S-400 missile system. There is a video, it's night vision at night of the team landing on the coastline. I'll link it down below if you want to see it for yourself. On the map, here's Crimea. This occurred right here, this little village of Mayak on the beach. The Russians didn't see this coming, they weren't prepared. Ukraine landed, flew up the flag, took out some Russian bad guys, and then successfully got out of there. It's too soon to have any kind of permanent presence on the peninsula, but Ukraine wants the Russians to know they can strike them anywhere, at any time, in the occupied territories. Here's a meme online I really enjoyed. Budanov is the intelligence chief for the Ukrainian military, and they're coming for it. Crimea will be liberated. When we switch over to the military map, the front that everyone's been talking about the last couple days is in the Zaporizhia region. The Ukrainian military has created a very impressive salient punching into Russian defense lines. So the village of Rabatna was officially liberated, and the next target, the next village, is right here, Novoprokopivka. Novoprokopivka. I'm doing my best here. And the problem the Russians have is there's only one road that resupplies this village, and this village. Everything else to the left and to the right of these villages is completely mined. Russians can't use them to resupply their forces. So there's a pretty gnarly video online, I'll link it down below. This is that single road in and out of the village, and you can see some of the trenches and defense lines on either side of it. There's only one road, you know where they're coming from. So Ukraine has been hammering this road with artillery shells, drones, and cluster munitions. Russians are panicking in this video. This is during the daytime. And they're trying to retreat. They're trying to run away, probably to get back to the next village. They're all massacred. It's up to Ukraine when they want to time going into this village, but more than likely they're going to continue making progress along this road until they get to this cross fork here. Ukrainians are cutting open US cluster shells to make drone munitions. Friend of the channel, Ryan Macbeth, actually predicted this a month or two ago. Cluster shells offer a source of ideal ammunition for Ukrainian drones, but they are also badly needed for their traditional application. So the Ukrainians put out a video. Let's actually watch a little bit of this because this is pretty cool.
Так красиво буде. Ай, який гранич.
Отут вони суббоєприпаси стоять. Це в нас голова з кришкою, оце суббоєприпаси.
Дивись, Льох, да, десь 4,5, чуєш?
Якщо його обережненько дістати, маємо отакий от гарненький суббоєприпас.
This Ukrainian soldier was operating a buzzsaw on a 155mm cluster round while wearing shorts and Crocs. And this is what it looks like when they take the little bomblets out. Packed inside this artillery shell, I think is either 82 or 88 of these cluster munitions. And this is what it looks like when they hook it up to a quadcopter.
Навіть по штаті, наскільки я знаю, саперне положено на... От в мене відділення, да, в мене саперне водій положено, саперне положено.
Після що я задаю водій, блядь, і саперний скидував.
Ну так воно ж так у всіх, хлопці. Воно так у всіх, все. Уже зведений. Да, ну ось, твоя системка, дивись.
Знаваємо запобіжності.
Ну, острілили.
Да. Оце ключове. Це обходи. Да. От що мені не подобається. Так. Робили зльотну площадку. Да.
Everything about this is so incredibly dangerous, but yeah, that's a good supply of armor-piercing rounds that can be dropped inside of Russian tanks and armored vehicles. It also can be dropped on personnel. The DPICM stands for dual purpose because it does have armor-piercing capabilities as well as steel rain to shred individuals. Now for some sad news, sorry to report, but Ukraine's outspoken MiG-29 pilot Juice was killed during a mission. He was a major in Ukraine's Air Force and an informal ambassador of sorts for the Ukrainian Air Force. He had a popular Instagram account and posted lots of pictures and videos of his combat operations. He died when two planes crashed in either a combat mission or training exercise a couple days ago. 3 Ukrainian pilots lost their lives, and the best way to honor this man and all the other Ukrainian soldiers who have given their lives is for Ukraine to win this war, liberate all their territory, and expel Russia forever. Let's get to some good news for Ukraine. Heineken Exits Russia, sells their operations for €1. Dutch brewer Heineken on Friday announced it was pulling out of Russia after selling its operations to the Arnes Group, Russia's largest manufacturer of cosmetics, household goods, and metal packaging. And just to completely get out of the country, looks like they sold everything for €1. Here's a cool picture of all the landmarks around the world of nations who support Ukraine, lighting up their landmarks in blue and yellow for Ukraine's Independence Day, which was 2 days ago. Here's a cool story. In my previous video, I mentioned this Japanese man who's been living in the city of Kharkiv. Fumi is his nickname. And Fumi was recognized by President Zelensky a couple days ago. This man has been using his own money to feed people in the city of Kharkiv for free for 1.5 years now. So he was given the honorary title of Hero of Ukraine, brought to the capital city of Kyiv and recognized by President Zelensky himself, along with these other fantastic individuals. Final clip I want to share with you guys is put out by the UK's Ministry of Defense in honor of Ukraine's Independence Day 2 days ago. The commander of this training unit wanted to speak to all the Ukrainian trainees currently in training in the UK.
I was lucky to spend 6 months in your country in 2017.
Була велика честь бути в вашій державі в 17-му році, 2017-му.
I look forward to returning,
І я надіюсь, що зможу повернутися. І з нетерпінням чекаю цього моменту.
but this time celebrating Independence Day
Але цього разу святкуючи День Незалежності.
and victory
І перемогу,
and peace
і мир
with you together in Ukraine.
з вами разом в Україні.
Slava Ukraine!
That's all for this update video. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. If you found this video informative, give me a thumbs up. Best way to support the channel. Comments and questions, let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys. Till the next video, keep defending the truth, keep defending democracy.